Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome everybody to the Hockey Think Tank podcast, brought to you by the hockeythinktank.com, a website for all players, parents, and coaches to go to get a little bit of education and a little bit of inspiration regarding the greatest game on the planet. We do not have Vex here today. Vex's baby mama is past due. This is Wednesday. We record on Wednesdays. The baby is not here yet, but they are spending some time together before the baby comes, hopefully here in the next little bit. By the time this podcast comes out, there's a very real possibility that the baby will be here, baby girl Lavecchio. So everybody keep Vex in your thoughts, as he is, for most of us parents, we know how that last couple days potentially before that baby comes can be a little crazy. And so get some thoughts over to Vex. I know he's going to crush it, and I know Kylie's going to crush it when the baby girl comes. So there we go. We still got Steph on the back end here, obviously doing her thing. Thank you, Steph, our podcast producer. Today, I'm flying solo, which is really, really, really weird. It is very strange not having my podcast partner on the other side of this Zoom screen or on the other side when we're in person. But I will do my best to provide some value for you guys here today. It's been a crazy, crazy week. I was up in Vancouver over the weekend. My buddy that passed away, one of my best friends, my teammate, my line mate, my roommate, he stood up in my wedding. I stood up at his wedding. Ray Sawada. They held a charity hockey tournament in his memory right outside of Vancouver in his hometown. So got the chance to go up there and play in that. They raised a boatload of money. I think they raised close to $20,000 for some awesome charities up that way. He's a fireman, and so got a bunch of firemen from the fireman community out that way to come and play in the game. I got to play for the Burnaby Fire Department, which is the fire department that he was a part of, and so got to meet a lot of his guys that, we go to war and we go to battle on the ice together, and those guys and women, they go to war, they go to battle, keeping people safe and putting out fires and saving people's lives. And I always remember Ray talking about it was the closest thing he's ever had to a hockey locker room, and getting the chance to be in a hockey locker room with those guys and share some story memories about Ray. It was really, really cool. Really, really cool. So got up to Vancouver and then spent 2 days in San Jose working with the San Jose Junior Sharks. So got to work with their kids on some life skills and some team building, got to work with their leadership group on some higher level strategy planning, got to work with their coaches. And we talked a lot about hockey development. And so I've been doing a lot of that lately. You'll be hearing me from a lot of different places around the US and Canada, and just working with youth hockey organizations. And so reach out. We do a ton of that. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're an administrator, we're doing a lot of fun stuff to help make the hockey world a better place, help make it a little bit easier for you and your youth organization. So San Jose Junior Sharks are doing a phenomenal job out that way, and a lot of fun. And flying home today, going to work with my dad's program, the Ice Dogs, and mixing in a little bit of podcast in the meantime. So busy times. I will be the person, not my cousin, my dear cousin Jeffrey, that oh my God, I'm so busy. But I am right now. But I love it. It's awesome. And I appreciate everybody who's reached out to work with us. Today, what we are going to talk about is I've been very, very fortunate in my hockey career as a player and as a coach. I also love to read a lot of books of really high level, whether it's hockey people, whether it's people in athletics or sports, whether it's business. I'm obsessed with greatness. I'm obsessed with finding a way to be the best. And when I talk about being the best, I don't necessarily mean the top alpha in whatever your profession is or whatever it is you're doing. When I talk about being the best, I'm talking about maximizing your potential. I'm talking about being the best version of yourself. I don't think it's healthy to compare yourself to other people. I think it's best when you compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And so, what I'm going to talk to everybody here about today is how can you be the best? What have I seen? What have I learned? Who have I been around that have taught me how to be the best version of yourself, how to be the best at what you're trying to do? And so, got a couple different things that we're going to talk about here. There's 6 different ones of them, and I'm really excited to share that with you. But before I do share this stuff with you, we do have some people to thank. First, I want to thank icehockeysystems.com, our title sponsor. These guys are the best. Such an unbelievable value add for any hockey coach, any hockey parent, any hockey organization out there. Thousands of drills, whiteboard explanations from some high-level hockey people, the ability to go in there and draw up your drills and share them with your team before practice digitally. Just a huge value add. We have partnered with them to do an associations platform where you can get this for every single coach in your organization. It's so ridiculous how incredible of a value this is, especially for the price that they do. I mentioned it last week. They have not raised their prices in 10 years. That is the type of values that Ice Hockey Systems had. These people are amazing. We partner with amazing people. So go to icehockeysystems.com today and check out the associations platform. Huge value add. Vex's buddies. We're going to talk about Train Heroic. And as we talk about Train Heroic, guys, Vex works with, I don't even know how many thousands of players and non-players he has helped with this app. It's an app on your phone, and you can go and do his workouts. He has different workouts for different types of people. And yeah, there's a billion people. But I've done it. Like it's such an amazing workout. He has things, whether you want to be an elite athlete, whether you want to just be a little bit healthier as a person. They got everything for you there with Vex. So go to Train Heroic. It's an app that you can download on your phone today and look up Jeff Lavecchio, Ripped Hockey, RIPT, and sign up for him today. Also, want to thank Cured Nutrition. It's a CBD company that Vex uses every single day. He has a discount code with them. It's GMBM. He credits using CBD for a lot of his health and wellness, especially with all the concussions that he had in his career. So, go to curednutrition.com, use that coupon code GMBM, and you will get a nice little discount from a one Jeffrey J. Lavecchio. Want to thank also Helios Hockey. Helios is a sensor that you put into your shoulder pads, and this sensor it senses when you're moving on the ice, and it gives you real-time feedback on everything from your stride to what they call a hustle score, your effort. It's something that the kids absolutely love. They have a leaderboard so you can see where you're at your age group with so many different players from around the world. It's really cool. Gets those competitive juices going a little bit. And if you go to helioshockey.com, then use our coupon code ThinkTank, one word, you will get a 20% discount on a pro annual plan or 20% off your pro 24th month subscription. And guys, this syncs up with your video, the sensor. So whatever you're using for video, Live Barn, iPad, iPhone, digital camera, whatever it may be. And you can get your shifts and you can get your reps in practice just cut up for you at the end, and just real-time feedback. Unbelievable. So go to helioshockey.com today, and also want to thank Crossbar. A lot of the organizations that we are working with and plenty of others that we are talking to are switching over from Sports Engine to Crossbar. And Crossbar is a one-stop shop software solution basically to help you run your operations for your youth hockey organization. So if you go to crossbar.org, there's a lot of great information on there on how you can add value to your organization by using this platform. But just some of the things that they have. Obviously, it's a great website design. It's really, really, really clean. You can do registration setup in minutes, whether it's for the entire season or maybe you want to do lessons or drop-ins with your families or players. Really, really easy to do that. Club scheduling is a disaster and a huge issue for a lot of youth hockey administrators, and they make it really, really easy. There's mobile apps where you can communicate with each other. Obviously, that's a big part of getting the word out for your organizations or your teams. Very, very easy financial tools and reporting for your budgeting purposes, volunteer management, facility rink management, you name it, they have it. I really encourage everybody to go to crossbar.org and check it out. It's a huge value add. Lastly, want to thank all of you, our listeners, and a really, really special thank you to so many people after our last podcast that we did. And I know Vex would say the same thing. The last podcast that we did was all about our Grandpa Scott. And Grandpa Scott passed away a couple weekends ago now. And we paid tribute to him and told some fun stories, told people what he means to us. And it was really, really cool to be able to honor his legacy. And his legacy lives on through Vex and I. We're the same bloodline, and he was just a man that we all aspired to be like. So we got so many DMs. We got so many texts from people we know, from people we don't know. Just like, wow, this dude must have been an awesome guy, and just people sending their thoughts and their prayers and their condolences. And it was amazing, the amount of people that reached out. So thank you guys so much for doing that. It means the world to Vex and I. And we continue to knock this podcast out for you guys. We want to make a positive impact on the hockey world. That's our mission. That's our goal, to provide some perspective and some education and inspiration that can help you along your path, whether you're a coach or parent or a player. And if you can do something to just help to support us, which so many of you have done already, we appreciate every like, every comment, every download, every rating, every follow, anything that you can do to have a touch point with our podcast just helps us to get into more ears. And we really believe, and based on your guys' feedback to us as well, that we are providing a really positive value to the youth hockey world and beyond. And the more people that we can get into, the more of a positive impact we can have. So anytime you interact with us, whether it's with us on social media, or you're sharing it, or you're interacting with it on your podcast apps, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, we're on all of them. It just helps to legitimize us with the algorithm and helps us to grow. So we appreciate if you do that. And with that, now let's get into what it takes to be great. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. On our podcast, we always talk about the power of reflection and the power of living life as the best version of ourselves. Well, therapy can help us to reconnect with who we are, what's important to us, and prioritize things that can help us live our best lives. We are huge believers of therapy on this podcast. It really allows us to rethink, reimagine, and reframe much of what is going on in our lives to help us grow into the people that we want to be. And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, convenient, and designed to fit your schedule. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN. TD, Tutty, taking it to the house. Whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. There are a ton of available lines and odds from the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms. What it takes to be great. And I'm really excited to share this stuff with you guys here today. This is a lot coming from my experiences, both myself as a player, coming from my experiences as a coach, coming from my experiences having just high level conversations with people who are way smarter than I am and have accomplished and achieved some amazing things inside and outside of this sport. I'm literally I'm just obsessed with finding out how to be the best version of yourself. And really how to be great at what you do. And so there's going to be 6 things that we're going to talk about here today. And the first one, and potentially the most important one, is grit and resilience. I'm a very big believer that it's not the things that happen to us that matter. It's the way that we choose to respond to the things that happen to us that matter. And if you want to be the best at what you do, or you want to be great at anything, it is not going to be easy. And just a spoiler alert, tough shit is going to happen, right? The path from A, where you are now, to B, where you want to be, it's never a straight line. There's so many ups and downs and twists and turns and things outside of your control that affect you from a negative standpoint. And in my opinion, the people who are the best at what they do, the people who get the most out of themselves, when the tough stuff happens, they make a choice. You have a choice to make in the way that you choose to see those situations. People who don't amount to much, they choose to see the situations by taking the easy way out. They quit, they whine, they complain, they point fingers, they make excuses, they mope, they have a poor me attitude. When tough stuff happens, that's really easy to do. But if you want to be great at what you do, those people see the tough stuff as an opportunity. They find a positive in every situation, and they see that as an opportunity to challenge themselves, to learn something new, to grow, and come out better and bigger and stronger on the other side. And I think so many people, they have this fallacy that it's just talent that gets you to be the best. It's not. Is that a part of it? Sure. Yeah, that's a part of it. But I'm going to tell you a few stories where it's not the whole story, or maybe even a huge part of the story. Grit, resilience, can do, never quit attitude. That is the thing that can help you be the best version of yourself. So the first story I want to talk to you guys about is my story. I think my story is really, really interesting in the fact that I've been through some tough stuff. I've been through a lot of tough stuff. And what I will tell you is I don't have the success in the game or in my life without the tough stuff. I've had success because of the tough stuff. Even though they were obstacles, even though they were roadblocks, if I didn't have that stuff, I wouldn't be as successful as I am today. And so the one story that really resonates when I talk to a lot of different kids, it has to do with when I was 16 and 17 years old. Because another fallacy that people have in the hockey world is that if you don't have everything figured out at 16, your hockey career is over. There's people in the hockey world that think if you don't have everything figured out when you're 12, your hockey career is over. And that is just flat out not true. And I want to give you a little bit of a story of my story. And then I have a couple other stories as well from people that I know in the hockey world that have gone on to do some pretty awesome things. So when I was 16 years old, got to drink some water. Been doing a lot of speeches lately, but when I was 16 years old, I was invited to the USA Hockey Select Festivals. And at the time they were in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And basically, if you don't know what those are, USA Hockey, they bring in the top 200 or so players from around the US, and they do a showcase. And from that showcase, it's a bit of a tryout. They pick a team to go over and play in, I believe it was called the Five Nations Cup at the time. Representing Team USA, go over and play a bunch of European teams. It's a real honor. And for me, it was a dream of mine to play for Team USA. Always wanted to play for Team USA. I'm a proud American. I love my country. To be able to represent the red, white, and blue would have been a huge, huge goal and dream of mine. So I go to the Select 16 festival. I'm playing with Team Central. So our team is Illinois and Wisconsin and St. Louis. Vex was on my team at the time. We played together in that tournament. It was awesome. And I played so well. I played really, really, really well. Right. And so I'm like, man, I'm going to make this team. I'm going to make Team USA. That's incredible. I was the fourth leading scorer out of 200 in the entire camp. Fourth leading scorer out of 200 in the entire camp. So after my last game, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I think I'm going to make this team. My dream is going to come true. So I get off the ice, I get into the locker room. And as I get into the locker room, there's a bunch of envelopes on these guys' stalls. There's about 4 or 5 guys' stalls. And as you saw who those people were that had the envelopes on their stalls, you realize that those were the people that made the team. And I didn't have an envelope. So I was pissed. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I shower up, I get my equipment, and I'm getting ready to leave the locker room. And all of a sudden, the head coach of Team USA, he comes into the locker room and he's looking for me. So he comes in and he says, hey, is Topher in here? And I'm like, yeah, coach, I'm right here. And he goes, okay, can I come see you in the hallway really quick? So I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird, but sounds good. But I'm getting my hopes back up. I'm like, maybe they just forgot my envelope. I don't know. So he brings me into the hallway and he goes, hey, Toph, and just starts showering me with how well I was playing. He played really well, made a lot of plays, competed really hard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I might make this team. But then came the but. And after the but, it was, hey, you played really well, but, we're Team USA. This is back in the early 2000s or maybe even the late 90s. And basically it was like our identity. We want to be a rough and tough team. We want to go over there and we want to intimidate the other teams. And so we're bringing some more size over there. We're bringing, those types of players. So because of your size, we're not taking you. We're going to leave you off the roster. But just wanted to let you know that we thought you played really well and you deserve to make the team. And when I say it took everything in my power not to break down in that moment, it took everything in my power. I was told that I was good enough to make the team, but because of something I cannot control, my height, I was not going to be given the gift of a dream of mine and a goal of mine that I had since I was a young kid to be able to play for Team USA. So I went back into the locker room. I got my stuff. My dad drove me out there. We get back into the car. We get in the car and we start making the trek back home to Chicago. I'm pissed, man. I'm throwing myself the biggest pity party ever. Like, this isn't fair. This is BS. I can't believe this happened, blah, 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 blah. And a couple minutes into it, my dad kind of stops me and he goes, hey, gives me one of those. Everybody knows when dad does that. Hey. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's enough, man. Enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said something to me, and I want all the kids that are listening to really take this to heart, because this is a question that he asked me that changed fundamentally my life. And that question, after I was stopped in my pity party and being negative and making excuses and worrying about things that I couldn't control, which is what losers do, frankly, he asked me one question. He said, Toph, what are you going to do about it? And so I'm like, what am I going to do? What do you mean? He's like, here's reality. You're 5'4". The people you're competing against are 6 feet tall and taller. You have to be that much better than them just to be even with them. And to be that much better than them just to be even with them, you have to work that much harder than them just to get a shot. And so what can you do about it? Again, what's more important, the things that happen to us or the way that we choose to respond to the things that happen to us? And that was the lesson that he taught me that day. How are we going to respond? Right. And so that summer I hit it hard, man. I fell in love with the weight room. Fell in love with the weight room. I was going to do everything into my power to make sure that the size factor was never going to be a part of any discussion ever again, because I just had to be that much better. And there was an understanding. And for most of you that are listening to this, I don't know if maybe it's size, maybe it's speed, maybe it's compete. Maybe there's something in your game that's not allowing you to be your best. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to watch other people work harder than you? Or are you going to find the hardest working player on your team? And are you going to go outwork them and outcompete them? That's what I did. That's what Vex always did. Find the best player on the team, find the hardest worker, and go toe to toe with them. Get those competitive juices going. That's what's going to make you at your best. So that's what I did that summer. And I came back the next year in the USHL. It's the first year where colleges are really coming to recruit you and to scout you. I'm playing for the Chicago Steel. I put in all this time during the summer. And guess what? I get to the USHL Fall Classic. It's a tournament where all the USHL teams for one weekend get into one city. All the colleges are there. All the pro scouts are there. I go in the weekend. Confidence is high because I put in the work. And guess what? I lead the tournament in scoring. I lead that preseason tournament in scoring. And after my last game, I get showered up. And instead of a coach coming in and telling me that they're going to cut me because of my size, I walked out of that locker room. And so many of the schools that I dreamed about playing from a young kid in college were waiting to talk to me about being a part of their program. I put in the work. I earned it. I put in the work. I earned it. So I'm on cloud nine. I put in the work, right? That whole week, I'm on the phone with a bunch of different colleges, talking to them about potential opportunities with their school. And then we get to our first regular season game in the USHL. I'm playing center. It's in Green Bay. I get the puck. I'm on an entry. I'm in the middle of the ice. I kick it out to my right winger. If you can get the visual on this, right winger, I middle drive. Right winger has the puck on the right wall. He shoots it. Goalie saves it, covers up the puck. I go to try to stop. My skate hits a rut the ice, and boom, torn ACL. Done for 5-6 months. Another roadblock. Another setback. The highs and lows, right? Guess how many schools that I wanted to go to that talked to me that entire week leading up to that called me back? Not one. It was zero. Zero of those schools. I guess they didn't have any time for a 5'4" kid with a damaged knee. So another setback. And what I will tell you for all the kids listening right now, those setbacks were the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't have the success in the game that I had. I went to an Ivy League school, a top 10 program. I was a 2-year captain. I scored over 100 points at Division I college hockey, played a little bit of pro at 5'4", have won championships at every school that I've coached at, had the opportunity to coach in a Frozen Four, been mentored by all this amazing people, now affecting change with youth organizations all over the world. I don't have this kind of success without the failures, without getting cut by Team USA, without getting my ACL torn and having all those schools forget about me. I don't have the success. I truly believe that, everybody. I truly believe that. So as you're going through your journey, how are you going to choose to see the tough stuff? Are you going to choose to see it and have a reflection of poor me and make excuses and point fingers? Or are you going to choose it to see as an opportunity to be that much powerful than you were before based on the life lessons that you learned from going through the shit? And anybody that's done anything great in this life, it's never been easy. There's always been roadblocks and setbacks, but really, Vex and I talk about it all the time. Those setbacks are just set ups for something greater. And for me, the things that I learned, I became so mentally tough. I love the game that much more. I was unstoppable after tearing my ACL. I was unstoppable with my work ethic and my drive and my want to prove people wrong, especially that Team USA coach. Like, that's what made me really good at what I do. That's what made me great at what I do. And I've taken those lessons that I learned in hockey and I'm using them in my life right now as a dad, as a husband, as a business person who owns and founded a company. Like, those are the things that have helped me to build the character that has made me successful. They're not setbacks, they're set ups. Okay. So that's my story. And hopefully you kids listening can resonate with that. But I have a couple other stories too that I think are really impactful. You know, we had Matt Molson on our podcast just a few weeks ago. Matt Molson scored 30 goals in the NHL 3 different seasons. And he was cut from his AAA team at 15 years old and had to play AA. Dan O'Donohue, another guy who signed an NHL contract. We had him on a while ago and talking about his story. He played AA until he was 18 years old. Tyler Parks, we had on the podcast, one of the most downloaded podcasts we've ever had. He got cut from his varsity high school team and played JV in St. Louis at 17 years old and went on to play in the AHL. We had Andrew Alberts on the podcast about a month ago. Andrew Alberts, he's a guy that got cut. He's from Minnesota. He got cut from his high school team at 15, had to play B hockey, played over 450 games in the NHL. Everybody loves to talk about, especially on social media, the top 1%, but that's not reality for 99% of people. So many people achieving your dreams, it's the long way, right? Success and failure, they're on the same road. One just has a quicker exit. If you continue to stay on that road, your probability for having success is going to be that much greater because so many other people are taking the easy way out. They're quitting earlier. You stick with it. That's how you get success. And grit and resilience is what helps you stick with it. One more story I have. This is a story, again, at 14 years old. At 14 years old, we've talked about and I've bragged about my Bantam major hockey team that won a national championship. And that Bantam major hockey team that won a national championship, our tryout process was pretty crazy. We had this crazy Russian coach who's one of the best coaches that I've ever had, and there's no chance he would get away with this today. But in the tryout, the first 2 days, everybody was on the ice. And then the third day, he told everybody who made the team, and we were supposed to go up in the stands, but he left one spot open. And he told 2 players that they had to go on the ice and do one-on-one drills to see who was going to earn that spot to have the last spot on our team. I've told this story before on the podcast, but in this resilience grit thing, this is incredible. So one of those players was Mike Brown. Okay. So Mike Brown was the person that ended up winning that one-on-one battle, and he made our team. He was the last person picked on our team. So I want to reiterate this. Mike Brown was the last person picked for our team at 14 years old. And guys, Mike Brown, as the last person picked on our team, was the only player to make the NHL. He was the only player to play games in the NHL. Last person picked at 14 years old on the team. But Mikey had a want. Mikey had a drive. Mikey had a competitiveness. And we had a 20-year reunion of that national championship a couple years ago. And Mikey we were talking about it because it was such a crazy situation, the one-on-one tryout. And Mikey said, he's like, guys, like, I don't know if I play in the NHL without that day. That was a day that taught him that you have to earn it. Because he was really, I mean, we all had to earn our spots on the team, but he really had to earn his spot on the team. And he took I'm the worst player on the team. Like, I'm the last player picked. I better outwork everybody to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so he took an opportunity. I can just imagine today, kids or parents seeing something like that and thinking that it's so wrong and thinking that it's not fair to the kids, putting them in that situation. Mikey Brown said that was the best thing that ever happened to him because he had to learn how to earn something. And that's something that I feel like we're missing. There's a lot of entitlement in today's culture, and particularly in today's hockey culture where we don't even really have tryouts at a lot of levels. Mikey made the team because of that. And so I just think that's another story of resilience and of grit. And hey, he could have went into that skate feeling sorry for himself. I thought I should have been one of those people who were sitting up in the stands, not the one doing the one-on-one tryout. But hey, he chose to see the good in it, the positive in it. He earned it. He worked, he competed, he won that battle. And he was the only guy as the last person picked on that team to make the NHL. So don't tell me that if you don't have it figured out at 15, your hockey career is over. I just gave you 4 different examples of people getting cut or people facing a really big roadblock at 15 that have gone on to do amazing things in this game. It's up to you. Now, may you have to work a little bit harder than other people? Absolutely. But the best players at 15 aren't the best players at 20 a lot of the time. Why? Because people who are told they're the best players at 15, they get complacent, they start believing people, and they forget that the thing that got them to be one of the best is their work ethic and the time that they put into it and the commitment. So, resilience, grit, finding a way to take a positive out of any negative situation, to use it as motivation to make yourself stronger than you ever were before. That, number one, is what great people, the best, do non-freaking stop. So, number one, resilience, grit. The second thing that's a consistency of all of the great people that I've been fortunate enough to be around is they choose to surround themselves with the right people. They choose to surround themselves with the right people. Their friends group, it means so much, especially as you get older. And I'm going to talk directly to the kids right now, for all the kids that are listening. So my job for a long time was college recruiting. I've met a lot of different kids. I've met a lot of different families. I've been in a lot of living rooms. I've had a lot of kids in our coach's office at our rink. And so you learn a thing or two by going through that, especially in seeing a lot of kids go from, 16 or so, 15, 16, when we start to watch them, all the way up until wherever their career goes. And what I can tell you, for all the kids listening, is I bet you, with all this experience and all this knowledge that I have of the kids that quote unquote make it, or whatever you want to call it, if you put me in a room with your 5 best friends, the 5 people that you hang out with the most, I will be able to tell you with almost 100% certainty, if you just give me 10 minutes, if you're going to accomplish your goals and dreams or not, if you're going to reach your potential or not. If you put me in a room with your 5 best friends, the 5 people who you hang out with the most, I will be able to tell you with almost 100% certainty in just 10 minutes if you're going to be the best version of you or not. That's how important surrounding yourself with the right people is. So, who are the right people? Who are the people that you want to surround yourself with? I think number one, you want to have people who love you for you. We live our best lives. We're happy when we're able to be around people who create an environment where we can just be ourselves, They're not trying to change you. They're not always picking at your faults and all this kind of stuff. They love you for you, whether you're a goofball, whether you're serious. We all have different types of personalities, but if you have a group around you that truly appreciates your uniqueness, your differentness, your ness, that Vex and I always like to talk about, your name plus Ness, Vex-ness. We all know what makes him great. But you want to surround yourself with people who love you for you and don't want you to change who you are. That's number one. Number two, you want to surround yourself with people who are going to be honest with you. And I tell this to parents and I tell this to players all the time in this game. When it comes to advisors, when it comes to coaches that are trying to recruit you, all that kind of stuff. If you're in a conversation like that and that person is telling you exactly what you want to hear to get you on their side or their team or whatever, run as fast as you can the other way. Run as fast as you can the other way. For me, with my daughters and for myself, like, I want to be surrounded and I want them surrounded by people who will tell them the truth. The good, the bad, the ugly, you know where you stand. That's what we all should really aspire to with the people that surround us is, hey, I just want to know where I stand with you. And that's why I think it's so important. And it's really relevant right now with our grandpa passing away a couple of weeks ago. Like, make sure you're communicating where you stand. And a lot of times that's, I love you, or it's thank you, or it's I'm grateful for you. Or if somebody needs a kick in the ass because they're not working hard or they're not treating people right or they're not pulling their weight in the house, whatever it may be, hey, I'm going to give you a kick. You need to step up. You need to step up. And so I just think having people around you who are honest with you and are willing and able to initiate hard conversations with you. Hard conversations is a gift. It may not seem like it at the time, and it might take you a day, it might take you a week, it might take you a year to figure out a conversation that you didn't really like actually ended up being really good for you because it taught you something, or somebody was trying to hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people who are honest and are willing to have hard conversations with you. I think that's so, so incredibly important. And then also, accountability is everything. Accountability is everything. Have people in your corner who, if you have a standard that you want, like you want to be great at something or you want to be the best at something, again, it goes back to it. You got to have people in your corner that are willing to hold you accountable for things. That when you're not going down the straight and narrow and you're veering off a path that you shouldn't be going down, a path that doesn't meet the standards that you've set for yourself, they're there to veer you back to where you want to go. And I think that's really cool about some of the stuff that Vex does. Every kid that he has, every team that he has, the first thing that he does with them is, okay, what's the standard? What's the goal? What's the dream? Okay. And then every day I'm going to hold you accountable to that. It's not me telling you what to do. It's what you want. And I'm going to help to hold you accountable to what you said your dream was going to be. Such an awesome coaching hack that Vex uses all the time. And it really resonates and helps to grow those types of relationships. So surround yourself with people who are honest, surround yourself with people who love you for you, and create an environment where you can bring your best version of yourself, whether you're a goofball, whether you're serious, whatever it may be. And surround yourself with people who are accountable. And at the end of the day too, and we said this a lot about my grandpa Scott, surround yourself with people who live the way that you want to live. And do things the right way. Lessons are caught, not taught. We say it all the time. Lessons are caught, not taught. And what you do speaks so much louder than what you say. And so surround yourself with people who live the right way and have similar values as you and can teach you something, not by what they say to you, but just in watching them live their life in a way that you want to live. So there we go. Relationships. Resilience, grit, number one. Surrounding yourself with the right people, number two. Really, really important. You want to be the best version of you. You want to be great at anything that you do. Water break. There we go. The third thing. You want to be great at anything that you do. You want to be the best version of yourself. It takes reps. It takes work. It takes a commitment to doing simple things every single day. There's no magic potion. There's no secret sauce. There's no recipe. There's no book. There's no advice or anything like that can help you be the best version of you and be great. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Everybody works hard. Everybody puts in effort. Do you want to be everybody or do you want to be different? It's something that I do in every team building talk with players at all levels. I go in there and I ask them, raise your hand if you work hard. Everybody raises their hand. And then the next question I ask them, if I were to go to every single team that you're going to play against this year and ask that same question, do you work hard? What's the percentage of players that are going to raise their hands? It's pretty much 100%. So working hard is the bare minimum. Do you want to be everybody or do you want to be different? Do you want to be everybody or do you want to be different? And I feel like I've learned how to be different. And that's what I want to share with you guys here today. When I was growing up, doing your best meant giving it 100%, right? Whenever you show up, just give your 100. Try your best, which is very valid. But the difference between good and great is not giving your 100. It's giving your 100 every day. It's consistency of effort, consistency in doing just a little bit more than everybody else. It's not like a rocket science crazy thing. And Brian Kane is a motivational speaker. He's a performance coach. And I listened to him do a podcast once. And I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this have heard of the 1% better every day rule. You can't get 100% better in a day, but you can get 1% better in a day. And when you stack that and stack that and stack that and stack that, then all of a sudden there's a compound effect and we don't see the results right away. But because we've been consistent with it, now we're going to see the results down the road. So an example, let's say we want to shoot 100 pucks every night. Let's say we have a goal of shooting 100 pucks every night. Okay. So we shoot 100 pucks. So if you do that every day and you're consistent with it, 100 pucks isn't that much, but if you do it every day for a week, that's 700 pucks. And then if you do it every day for a month, that's close to 3,000 pucks. And then if you do that for an entire year, that's like 36,000 pucks, all based on just shooting 100 pucks a day. And so Brian Kane, who did this 1% better, he was like, I want to quantify it. You can't just say 1% better. Well, what does that mean? So he came up with 1% of a day is 14 minutes and 24 seconds. It's 14 minutes and 24 seconds. So what can you do above and beyond what you've been asked for 14 minutes and 24 seconds every day that can help you to stack the wins? And then those stacked get compounded where all of a sudden we go from 100 pucks to 36,000. And so can you, for 14 minutes and 24 seconds a day, that's typically around the time that it'll take to potentially shoot 100 pucks. It's probably not even going to be 14 minutes and 24 seconds. Now, that sounds really easy, but in reality, it's one of the hardest things to do, is to do that every single day. Every single day. Stack those wins, stack those wins, stack those wins. It's not about shooting 36,000 pucks in a day. Can't do that. It's not about shooting 700 pucks in a day. It's about doing the same consistent thing every single day, building that muscle memory, leading to the good habits. That's how you become great. Now, like I said, that's really difficult to do. It's simple, but not easy. We talk about that a lot, right? Simple, not easy. But I want to break it down for you guys. So hopefully this can help you to be able to do that 14 minutes and 24 seconds every day. And for me, there's 3 things that you can do. There's 3 things that you can do to make sure that you're doing these things every day. The first one, write it down and check it off. Write down your goal, what you're going to do for 14 minutes and 24 seconds, and check it off. If you have a visual reminder, whether it's on your nightstand, whether it's on your phone, whether there's a journal that you carry around, whatever, having a physical representation that you can write it down and check it off, all the studies will show you that you're way more apt to do the thing if you do that. With that, don't just write down what the goal is. Imagine, envision, and write down what the obstacles are going to be for not doing the thing every day. If you have that in the back of your mind, then when the obstacle comes in your way, you've already dealt with it. You've already had the mental reps of, I know that this is coming and I'm going to plow through right now. And a lot of times what that obstacle is it's I'm tired. I got a lot going on. I had a road trip, or I have school, or, a lot of practice going on this week, whatever. Like, those are just excuses, right? We talked about that earlier. Those are just excuses. So write it down, check it off every day, envision the obstacles. That's number 1. Number 2 is have an accountability buddy. Have an accountability buddy, whether this is somebody that you actually do this with, or whether this is somebody that you have to text every night at the same time. Hey, I did my thing. I shot my 100 pucks. I did my 50 push-ups. Yeah, I journaled for 20 minutes, whatever it is, like that you're going to do every day to continue to master your skill. Have an accountability buddy that you do it with, or that you have to text. That positive peer pressure is going to help you to do the thing, right? And third is do it at the same time every day. Build it into your routine, put it in your calendar. Right? If you're a young kid, you go to all your classes. Why? Because it's in your routine. It's a set schedule. Put this shooting of 100 pucks, doing your push-ups, whatever it is, put it in your calendar. That way, it's a constant visual reminder. That way, you know that time of the day, that's my getting better time. That's my 1% of the day. I highly, highly encourage you, if you have a Google Calendar, or I don't know, there's so many different apps nowadays, like put that 15 minutes in your calendar every single day. Those 3 things will help you to hold your feet to the fire, be accountable to your goals. And at the end of the day, I say this all the time now, if your dreams are really, really big, the magnitude of your work ethic and your preparation, it has to match or exceed the magnitude of your dreams. So if your dream is to play in the NHL, that's a lofty goal. You better work so incredibly hard to be able to meet that dream. Maybe it's the NHL. Maybe it's your varsity high school team. Maybe it's a AA team and you're an A player right now, whatever it is. make sure that your work ethic, the magnitude of that, it's equaled or ahead of the magnitude of the size of the dream that you have as well. So repetition, consistency, accountability to that. Like those are the things that great people do. Why? Because it helps them to develop routine. It's helping them to develop that consistency. And at the end of the day, what does confidence come from? Confidence really comes from making a promise or making a pledge to yourself and then doing it. Nothing leads to less confidence than saying you're going to shoot 100 pucks and not doing it. Nothing grows confidence more than saying you're going to do 100 pucks and doing it. And then again, and then again, and then again. Those are little wins for the mind that mean so incredibly much. So incredibly much. So here we go. Another water break. Give me 3 seconds. The throat is dry. Okay, number four. This one might be the hardest one to accomplish. I actually think number 3 might be the hardest one to accomplish. But number 4 is one in today's day and age that is really, really hard to accomplish. And that's being able to live in the moment. Having the ability to live in the moment. And it is really, really easy to beat yourself up about mistakes or traumas or things that have happened in your past, something that is really hard to kind of get through. It's really, really difficult it's really, really easy to think about something that hasn't happened yet in the future, that causes you some stress, that causes you some anxiety, something that you can't control. Human nature. It's really easy to beat yourself up about the past. It's really, really easy to get stressed about future things that haven't happened yet. And it's really, really difficult to be in the here and now, and not just be in the here and now and enjoy it, but focus on it and really just kind of live in the moment. And man, like you look at all the studies, being present, it's really, really difficult to do when we have a lot of things on our plate, which all of us have a lot of things in our plate. But at the same time, it's an absolute gift and it's an absolute skill that you can work on every single day. And so how can we do that? There's a bunch of different things that we can do. The first one and the most simplest one is meditate. Any study ever will show you that taking some time out of your day, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, and sitting alone with meditation, getting into your thoughts, using one of these guided meditation apps, like it's really, really good for your mental and even your physical health. So all it does is it's clearing out the noise. We have all this junk. We have all this information. We have all these distractions coming in at 1 million miles an hour every single day that catches our attention. And the people who are great at what they do, they don't do 1 million things. They do a few things ungodly well. They don't do 1 million things. They do a few things ungodly well. And so how are they able to do that? It kind of ties in with the repetition, but you have to eliminate or manage the distractions. There are so many different distractions in our life. I feel like when we were growing up, the conventional wisdom was like, it was great to be a multitasker. And all the studies and everything now shows you that if you want to be great at anything that you do, you can't multitask. You have to be in the moment with what you're doing at that moment. So if you're a player, it's the next rep, man. I'm going to focus on this next rep and I'm going to enjoy this next rep. In a game, I'm going to focus on my next shift and I'm going to be excited and I'm going to really enjoy being in the moment of being in my next shift. There's so many different things that we do that our attention is it's all over the place. And I'm guilty of it probably more than every single person that is listening to this podcast. And the people who work with me are probably laughing right now hearing this. But I'm at my best when I'm focusing on keeping the main thing. Yep, Steph, there we go. my squirrel brain, right? So being present in the moment, focusing on and enjoying what you do by eliminating the distractions. And what are some of these distractions for myself from talking to a lot of different players on kind of what keeps them away from being at their best? Number one is what? It's the phone. Number one is the phone and it's social media. If you have not listened to our episode with Larissa Mills yet, it's a must listen. She is an expert on how to have a proper relationship with your phone and with social media. And so that's a huge distraction that does not get us to live in the moment. And the reason why I feel like this is such a tough thing for especially so many kids, but so many of us, and myself included, again, I'm raising my hand for this. We care way too much about what other people think when the only people's opinions that matter is ourselves. And social media creates this environment and creates this culture where all we care about are other people's opinions based on likes and comments and whatever else they do on social media. And so that makes it's making our kids and it's making us depressed. And it's given us a lot of anxiety because we're judging ourselves on other people when we should be judging ourselves based on who we were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Again, we're talking about the things that we can control. Compare yourself and judge yourself to who you were yesterday. Are you that 1% better today than you were yesterday? Those are the wins that we should have. And so the example that I use for this is my kids. So I have three beautiful daughters that behave most of the time, but one of the times that they rarely ever behave is when we're trying to take a picture. So if I'm trying to take a picture of my three daughters, ages 7, 5, and 3, Paige, Lucy, and Celia, it typically takes, let's call it 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to take a good picture of my kids, where they're all looking at the camera, they're all smiling, and boom, we take that picture. Why? Well, the oldest one wants to hold the phone. The middle one's upset because she wants to hold the phone too. The 3-year-old is pulling on the middle one's hair. As child one is getting up from the couch and going everywhere. It's just an absolute gong show. That's the reality of life. But at the minute 59 mark, for whatever reason, all three of those little beautiful girls, they look at the camera, they smile, and boom, we take that picture. Now, what goes up on social media, guys? What am I putting up on social media? I'm putting up that perfect picture. That picture of all three girls looking beautiful and looking right at the camera, right? And then I get the comments and the likes, and it's like, oh man, your girls are so beautiful. Oh man, your girls, they look like they're so well behaved, yada, yada, yada. In reality, a minute 59 of the 2 minutes was an absolute gong show of a disaster. But that 1 second, what goes up on social media? Is it the perfect life that everybody tries to portray of themselves, or is it the minute 59 of what life really is about? We all have our stuff. We all have our challenges. We all have our issues. But when we're on social media, it looks like everybody else doesn't have any of those challenges or doesn't have any of those issues. Why? Because putting up this fake best version of ourselves, that's total bullshit. At the end of the day, we all have our struggles, but we think that we're the only ones that have the struggles because of social media. It's a huge distraction, and it's a huge thing that doesn't help us to focus on the here and now. Focus on the present, focus on being grateful for the things that we have rather than searching for this perfect life that is not attainable for anybody. And so I actually really, the only people who I like to follow on social media are the people that are not afraid to show the scars. They're more relatable. I don't follow anybody that has the pictures next to the private jets that they rent for 10 minutes. So it makes it look like they're a baller, or just chooses to post the good. No, I like people that I can relate to with the struggles that I have, because I'm not alone in them. And they remind me of that, because there's a lot of times when we feel like we're alone in our struggles sometime. And so, social media, huge distraction, phone, huge distraction. And then another big distraction, guys, that I think a lot of us deal with is just the craziness of life. The craziness of life. And what I've learned is structure equals freedom. Structure equals freedom. When I don't have a rhyme or a reason to the calendar of my day goes haywire. When I know what I'm doing and I have a calendar and I can stick and be accountable to different things that are on my calendar, whether that's creating content, whether that's meetings, whether that's taking care of my physical and mental health, when I have those structured in my day, the day doesn't seem so crazy. It gives you freedom. Most people think it's the other way around. You get freedom by not having structure. It's the exact opposite. And it's something that I've learned. So if you want to be in the moment, have some parameters and have some guardrails for your day from a scheduling standpoint. It's like, hey, I can be present with this thing that I'm doing right now and nothing else matters. I can be present in this meeting with this person right now and nothing else matters. That's how you get stuff done. That's how you connect with people. How many times have you had a conversation and your phone's out and you've had to look at that person and say, wait, what? Sorry, I wasn't really listening. Or they catch you. They're like, hey, did you get what I just said? No, I was looking at my phone, or no, I was multitasking and doing something else. Presence is the best gift that you can give, not only to yourself, but to other people, because that presence creates connection. And I've had to learn that. I'm somebody that used to be on my phone way too much, and I wasn't present with my kids. And like, not only is that teaching them that like phones are more important, it's sending a message that phones are more important than your attention to them, right? But it's also teaching people that you're not present in what you're doing right now, which is a really, really important thing if you want to be mentally healthy and fit and be the best at what you do and be the best version of yourself. So having that ability to live in the moment, I think is a very, very powerful thing. Water break. The fifth thing that we'll talk about is reflection. If you've listened to our podcast, you know how important this one question is to Jeffrey J. Who Tatman, No Tooth, about to have a kid, Lavecchio, and I. And that question is, what is your why? Taking a step back to center yourself on what your why is, what you're passionate about, what gets you out of bed in the morning. When we have the ability to take a step back and do that, it provides us an unbelievable perspective that allows us to give everything that we have into something. And again, we're all busy. We have so many things that are going on, but that really, honestly, what I've learned is just really an excuse. It's really just an excuse. And so my challenge to everybody here is to take some time out of your day to do a little bit of reflection. And that reflection could be a 5-minute conversation with a spouse or a 30-minute conversation with a spouse. That reflection could be journaling. Whatever it is that you do, when you can take some time to get inward and think about what's important to you, it allows you to get your priorities in order. And for me, again, I've lived this. Like, I know when I'm doing my reflecting and I'm journaling, or I'm having consistent conversations with my wife about our lives and things like that, like I'm at my best. I'm more mentally fit. I'm more mentally healthy. I'm a happier and more fulfilled human being. When I'm just flying by the seat of my pants and I'm just surviving the day, like that's not really that fun. And a big part of being able to do that is just that reflection piece. And so what I would challenge everybody to do is take some time out of your day, write down your why, take some time out of your day, have a conversation with somebody who knows you better than you might even know yourself, just to recenter you on what's important. And again, it kind of eliminates all the BS and all the distractions that are coming our way, because we know, and we have a really like gut clenching feeling of who we are, where we want to go, and what's going to help to get us there. So that reflection piece. So that's number 5. And then the last thing I want to talk about is something that I feel like we need way more of in our culture today. And that is responsibility and accountability for our actions. Gary V. I don't know if anybody in here follows Gary V on social media or has listened to him. He's a serial entrepreneur, personal speaker, motivational speaker, whatever you want to call him. He owns a bunch of different companies. And he said something once that really resonated. And what he said went something like this: imagine how freeing it is when you take accountability for everything that happens to you in your life. Imagine how freeing it is to take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Again, what's more important, the things that happen to us or the ways that we choose to respond to the things that happen to us? When we feel like we're in control, that is a powerful, powerful, freeing feeling. That is not what we do in human nature. The presidential debate was, I think it was yesterday. I didn't even watch it, But in seeing some of the clips, everybody blames everybody for everybody else's problems. It's because of you. You're failing at this. You're failing at this. It's a blaming culture, and it starts from the top. We have to create a culture in the micro, in our households, on our teams, in our organizations, in our friend groups, whatever, that taking responsibility and taking accountability, that's the cool thing to do. That's the cool thing to do. And how much more respect do you have for people who actually take responsibility for the negative things that happen in their life too? Right? I have so much more respect for those kinds of people. And I know people who are great at what they do have so much more respect for people who take accountability and take responsibility for the things in their lives. And again, I've lived this, and it's not easy, but I'm telling you, if you take responsibility for even the things that you can't control, and you have it built into your head that I'm responsible for my life, and the way that I choose to respond to the things that happen to me are way more important than the things that happen to me, dude, it's an absolute game changer. An absolute game changer. And so I challenge you, and I hope you can take that to heart, and I hope that you can use that in your own life, because like I said, it's been a game changer for me. And no longer is my first initial thought or reaction to kind of go inward and feel sorry. Like, no, my first reaction is, okay, this is an issue that I'm going to get through. I'm in control of my situation. My situations aren't controlling me. I'm in control of my situations. And it's a freeing feeling that I hope you guys can do. And I hope you guys can come back to me and be like, dude, that made a huge difference in my life, because it's made a huge difference for me, and it's made a huge difference for a lot of other people that I know too, that I speak to on a regular basis, that have similar high echelon hopes and dreams to make a huge positive impact that I do. And I want to end this, everybody. I want to end this with a poem that goes along with this responsibility piece. It's my favorite poem. I share this poem in a lot of the team building stuff that I do. And this poem is called The Man in the Glass. Okay. This poem is called The Man in the Glass. And I have this all over my office, The Man in the Glass. And so I'm going to read it to you right now. This is by, his name is Peter Dale Winbrow Sr. And I don't know when he wrote it or anything like that, but I think this is just absolutely incredible. So here we go. The Man in the Glass. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't a man's father or mother or wife whose judgment upon him must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the man staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear up to the end, and you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You can fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but the final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in your glass. Dude, how powerful is that poem? I love that poem. It's a consistent, constant, everyday reminder that I'm in control. And Vex and I talk about this a lot too, right? Like, what is success? People define success in all different ways. But for me, I think the person who had the best definition of success is John Wooden. And John Wooden is the greatest coach of all time. He's a philosopher. He's the greatest coach of any sport at any level of all time. He was the coach of UCLA basketball back in the 1970s, and they won 10 national championships in 12 years. Like, this guy's the alpha. And he's written a lot of books, and I've read all of them. They're amazing. So if you're looking for a book, just read John Wooden. Anything by John Wooden. And his definition of success is peace of mind. It's peace of mind knowing in your heart and in your head that you did everything that you can do today to be the best version of you. That's what success is, because that's what's in your control, and that's taking responsibility for your actions. And I think we have this distorted thought of what success is, where it's more and more and more. It's money, it's accolades, it's fame, it's this or that, like things that are outside of your control and are very dependent upon other people. I think true success is the peace of mind that I'm living life the right way. I did everything in my power to maximize my abilities, and I did everything in my power to help the people that I love to maximize their abilities too. Is there any other success that's better than that? I don't think so. And for me, again, all the great people that I've been around, that responsibility, that taking control, taking initiative of their life, that's what they all have. That's what they all have. So thank you guys for taking about an hour. This is really weird without Vex, but hopefully I did him proud today here by myself. I'm not by myself. We got Steph here too. But just as a recap, guys, like if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to accomplish anything great in your life, here are the 6 things that I think you need to work on. Resilience and grit, number 1. Surrounding yourself with the right people, number 2. Being intentional with your work, consistently getting better every day, number 3. Living in the moment, number 4. Reflection, taking some time out of your day to do some reflecting on yourself and what's important to you. And lastly, taking accountability and taking responsibility, taking control and taking action of your own life. If you do all 6 of those things, God love you. That's a really, really hard thing to do. I try every day to abide by those 6 things. If I get 3 or 4 out of 6, I feel like it's a pretty good day. But hopefully this at least can help you to reflect on where you're at in your life, where you want to go, and how it's going to help you to get there, especially if you have some high hopes and dreams of doing some pretty cool things. So thank you guys for your time this week, and we will see you back with Vex next week, hopefully with a little baby girl.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.